And that's what you do. When you love what you do, it don't seem like work. We all are sleep deprived, but guess what, world? We are here. We are ready to celebrate. It's just been a nice journey. Our first year anniversary, just starting out with the very first magazine, to be able to have our fire chief here in Prince George's County, Tiffany Green, was the first to greet us on our first magazine edition 2 years ago, March. Yes, and what a way to open up as we start in Women History Month. And then our second magazine for our 1 year anniversary, we decide we're going to just do it twice. So, I wonder who that was. We had our state's attorney, Aisha Braveboy, on the front cover, and then we also had, we had the African, thanks, Krista. She know I'm tongue tied and tired. We had the African credit, African Union ambassador for the African Union. So yes, and it was just a thrill to have two magazine front covers. So we continue that journey, and tonight we are having two front covers again. We have the Honorable Carol Schwartz in the house. Yay! And then the second front cover is me. Really? Oh, wow! Celebrating 10 years. Yes, yes. So, and with that being said, we have just some special people in the house that just want to wish us well for our 2nd year anniversary. And I'm going to bring up our team member, Seth Washington, right now. He's the voice of this vision and purpose. And I'm going to let him take over from here. So thank you, guys, and thank you all for coming out.
Please give Karen McConnell Jones a round of applause, please. And certainly, it's a tremendous moment to be able to celebrate this occasion as it is March. It's Women's History Month. And Karen is a woman who is certainly making history. The Honorable Carol Schwartz is certainly a woman who has made history, and there's so many great women in this room, and I see amongst us we have some younger women in the room as well who, they are still making their way in the early stages of their life, and they also will be making history. So it is a great moment for us, and this magazine that began during the pandemic. Come on, a round of applause for that. Yes. A baby publication birthed during a very trying time, and that added to our ability to make it through that time. Certainly for us on the magazine, it was great for us to have something to focus on and to be productive in regards to putting a magazine together. And so we thank Karen for providing that opportunity, and what a great ground, a very fertile ground. Our community, our core, our center of that community being Prince George's County, Maryland. And what a great place to begin to go forth. And so with that being said, regarding the women of the great state of Maryland and Prince George's County, we want to bring up our first guest tonight. As Karen mentioned, she was a former cover story of VMP Magazine, and she is State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy. Please give her a round of applause.
Thank you so much for that kind introduction, and it's just amazing to be with all of you this evening. Women's History Month is one of my favorite times of the year because we get to celebrate the accomplishments of women, and then also we get to envision what our younger women will do. And so, I stand on shoulders of the women who came before me, and you will stand on our shoulders, and we will help to lift you higher than we have been. And that's important. And so someone like Karen understands how important it is to showcase, right? Showcase the dynamic, just and beauty of women. So the dynamic, cause that it is to be a woman, because being a woman is a cause. Because unfortunately for us, we face so many challenges. And so I embrace being a woman. I embrace all of the difficulties that it comes with, but I also embrace all of the possibilities. And so it is great to be here, just to be able to celebrate you, to celebrate what a strong woman can do, working with other women and men who support women. So that's important too. And I have to say this because I'm a native Washingtonian, and I grew up, though, in Prince George's County, but I was born in D.C., spent a few years there, and then moved here. But my father worked for many years for the District of Columbia government in the, now it's, I guess, D.C. Water. It was the Water and Sewer Authority for many years. And before that, I think it was a part of the Department of Public Works. So he'd been there through all of that. And so he knew a lot of the politicians. His name was Cuthbert Braveboy, and he worked as a manager in sewer services there. He's still living, but he retired. But one of the things I remembered is that he would always talk about these amazing council members. And he mentioned the Honorable Carol Schwartz. And the one thing he always said about her was that she was humble. She was humble. She cared about her constituents. When she called on a DC, now it's called DC Water, they would respond because they knew that she was calling because someone needed their help. And so it is just amazing that I get to be in a room with you this evening. I'm so grateful. My father's going to be so happy when I tell him that I saw you this evening. I will. And so I also want to provide something to you, a proclamation, and it reads, whereas the state's attorney for Prince George's County, Maryland, offers her sincerest congratulations to the Karen McConnell Jones, owner of Vision and Purpose Media Productions, on the occasion of her 10th anniversary in the media industry. Whereas, under the umbrella of Vision and Purpose Media Productions, Karen started Vision and Purpose magazine because she saw a need for positive messaging in the Prince George's County community. With a strong desire to inspire communities everywhere, she pushed through and launched the magazine even in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. And whereas Vision and Purpose Media Productions aspires to transform lives through positive messaging, networking, and by building an upstanding relationship with the community, with superior customer service as a top priority, the company has been a blessing in the lives of viewers, readers, clients, the community, while aiming to be the most sought out media company of choice, and that you are. And whereas it is a pleasure to extend the expression of this office's esteem and best wishes to Karen McConnell Jones on this momentous occasion, now therefore I, Aisha Braveboy, State's Attorney for Prince George's County, Maryland, do hereby proclaim March 11th, 2022 as a day to celebrate the Karen McConnell Jones on the occasion of her 10th anniversary in media and the 2nd anniversary of the Vision and Purpose magazine, given under my hand and seal. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Somebody take a picture. I'll let my team get it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And Karen, I do apologize. My sister
Yes.
just got a big promotion,
Yes.
and so we're
Yes.
celebrating her today. But I'm going to try to get a quick
Picture.
selfie with, but
no, we're going to take pictures.
with Ms.
Let you-
Schwartz. I
yes,
appreciate
yes.
it. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.
And so we thank State's Attorney Brave Boy for those great words and sharing that proclamation. And now they're in the rear there making history, some photographic history there. Yes, the best of D.C. and Maryland. I want to also thank her because, last year when the article came out with State's Attorney Brave Boy on the cover, I personally had a chance to read about the work she was doing on behalf of the people of Maryland. And she is doing some great work. And it is to be recognized, and she deserves great thanks. She is one who is doing work that shows that she cares about her constituents, and we are appreciative of that. And thank you for the job well done. As we continue this look at great women in Maryland, we want to bring up to the podium right now the clerk of the court, Mahassan El Bey. And let me correct my introduction. It's the clerk of the court, Mahassan El Amin.
Thank you. I'm a vertically challenged. Is this okay? I may be small in stature, but I'm mighty. Good evening. I just want to thank Karen for this invitation. I met Karen in her basement in 2018 when I was campaigning for the clerk of the circuit court, and her basement was filled with nothing but women. It was a beautiful sight, and actually they were all the way upstairs too. And as a young professional, in being introduced into this, area of politics, it's so important to see all these beautiful women uplifting each other, even if we're on separate sides and we're opposing each other. We still uplift each other. We keep everyone in our prayers. We respect one another. We don't speak derogatory about each other, because it's so important to our young folk to really see how important it is to maintain healthy relationships. Even if you don't agree, it's okay to disagree. And we are in unprecedented times right now. And it is so important that we come together as a community and to show the young people that we can be together and we can get along, and we're all here to achieve a goal, and that is to be the best and the greatest. And that's why I really appreciate Karen for inviting me today. I also want to congratulate her on her 10 years in the media and for 2 years with VNP Magazine. And I have a little token, but I just also want to thank you for supporting me along my journey, and then bringing people into my office and bringing people into my world, because we have to work together collectively if we're going to get out of this mess. Yes. We really are. We can't all this beratement and everything going on in the media. We need positivity. We don't need the salaciousness that we're hearing every day. We need positivity, and that's what you do.
Thank you.
With the BNP. So I have a very small token of appreciation, which is basically a certificate of recognition from the Office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court for Prince George's County. And it's presented to Karen McConnell Jones of VNP Media Productions. Presented to you on this 11th day of March 2022 for your 10 years of hard work, passion, and dedication in the media, and in celebration of VNP Community Magazine's second year anniversary. Your passion and your commitment of service to others and to the community of Prince George's County is revered by many. So congratulations. Thank you very much. Continue all the wonderful work. Should I stand up on my toes?
Thank you. Yay. Look, Kristen.
And can we have another round of applause for the clerk of the court, Mahassan El Amin? Thank you so much for your great words and for your proclamation. And we're moving right along. We have a representative from the office of State Delegate Jocelyn Pena Melnick. Will you please come forward now? Please give her a round of applause as she comes forward. Yes.
I can talk loud, always have. My name's Edith Perry. I work for Delegate Jocelyn Pena Melnick. She has Anne Arundel County and also Prince George's County. I like to tell people how I ended up in Prince George's County because I'm originally from Ohio. And I transferred here to work on with Fort Meade as far as their critical services. But they wanted me to live in Virginia, okay? I had to do a site survey in Suitland, okay? And I looked around, I said, here's my people. So I went right across the street, I found a realtor's office, and bought a home right over here, okay? Because I said I needed to be by my people. But it is so appreciative of the communication of this magazine. This is what binds us together, and I am just so excited to celebrate with her. And Delegate Jocelyn Pena Melnick has been knowing her for a long time and supports any and everything that she does. So the Maryland General Assembly has an official citation for Karen. The official citation, we hereby honor to all that sincerest congratulations are offered to Karen McConnell-Jones, CEO of Vision and Purpose Media Production. In recognition, congratulations on 10 years in the media. We look forward to seeing all of the great things you will accomplish in the coming years. It's not over. It's just the beginning. And you have, Jocelyn told me, you have her support. Just tell her what you need. And she'll be there for you always, as we all will. And I need some business cards to take so I can pass it on, because we have to support you, okay? If I know somebody needs a media production, I need to have your card in my pocket. That's how we help each other. It's not just talk. I don't talk, I do, okay? And what I do, what I will do, and what I commit to you is I will promote you with, I work with League of Women Voters. I work with National Coalition of 100 Black Women. And we do media, we need media help. And guess what? I need you, okay? Nobody else, I need you. And thank you for being here. Thank you, baby. And my little thing is hanging. Where's the business card?
Another round of applause for Edith Perry, representative of State Delegate Jocelyn Pena Melnick. Thank you so much, Ms. Perry. And so right now, we have a proclamation that is provided to us from the Office of the County Executive. And it is addressed to Karen McConnell-Jones. And so I shall read it as it says. Yes, Karen, please come over while I read this. And it says, the certificate of recognition presented to Karen McConnell-Jones, CEO and President. On behalf of the citizens and residents of Prince George's County, we are pleased to congratulate you on your second year anniversary of VMP, Vision and Purpose Community Magazine. You have also provided over 10 years of service in media, successfully reaching diverse audiences, including emerging entrepreneurs, young professionals, well-established business owners, executives, and educators. As you celebrate this significant milestone for your magazine and your career, We are Prince George's proud to congratulate you on your success. This certificate is presented on the 11th day of March 2022. Signed, Angela Also Brooks, County Executive.
Thank you. Look, you got to stand in this time. All right. We taking a commercial break? Yes.
We will return momentarily
Yes.
with more great guests
Yes.
and friends of VMP Magazine.
Yes. Thank you. Badass us. Yeah, that's right. That's who we are. Badass us. What? Who are we? We are women. Beautiful, accomplished, and divine. That's right. Badass us. Yeah. Who are we? We are gentlemen. Our brothers, accomplished and determined. Yet, as society see us, we must still change the narrative. Yeah, that's right. Who are we? The Black community. Remember us? We are accomplished. We are determined. We are divine. We are of greatness. That's right. The Black community. Badass us. Who are we? That's right. Who am I? I am the person committed to building the next community movement. What about you?
Hello, my name is Tania McQueen. I'm the Residential Services Manager for Prestige Community Resources.
What our new facilities are respite centers. We're opening 2 in the city right now. Hopefully we'll expand to more. But respite centers are a place where people can come and get a little additional support with their mental health. Our one on Eastern Avenue is for men, and our one on Minnesota Avenue is for women. Our facilities are for all DC residents, especially focusing in on those in Ward 7 and 8. So they're really nice, and I'm excited for consumers to actually see them. What are the services that we're gonna provide? Therapy, case management, medication management, all provided by professional staff, a licensed nurse practitioner, psychiatrists, sociologists, social workers, and then our paraprofessionals, our case managers. It's just a place where you can come and get the supports that you need to work on your personal goals, as well as to get your mental health straight. Simple, single adult, 18 years of age or older, a DC resident. You need to have insurance, but if you don't have it, it's okay. Still come, we'll work on getting you insurance. Have to have a negative COVID test, a negative TB test, and be willing to work on your mental health. For more information about respite services, you can contact us at 202-796-5000 or hit us up on our website at www.prestigecommunityresources.org.
Welcome back to the VMP anniversary launch.
Yay.
Our third year beginning here in 2022. Karen, this is awesome.
Yes, it is, Sal.
A round of applause. This is a birthday. This is a celebration. This is an anniversary. Yes.
Well, if I can, some fruitful news real quick. Actually, South Washington, you was with me with my last company as well, the
Yes.
Class Act Productions, and we called him then the voice of Class Act. So thanks for being on this journey with me. We've been on a nice little journey together, so thank you.
You're quite welcome, Karen. This has been a pleasure.
Yes, thank you, thank you. So I guess we gonna now just recognize some of our sponsors, because this great magazine would not to be possible if it was not for our sponsors. Our sponsors support us, and this is how the stories get told. So I know one sponsor that was here. She actually was just here just to come out and support me, which she do every time. She's like, "No, Karen, I'm just here on support today," but I'm calling her up because it's nice when you go. She worked at Industrial Bank, the manager at the branch here in Prince George's County. And it's nice when you go inside the bank and they greet you by your name. They just, help you from, as soon as you walk in, Sav, from the time you leave out, you're greeted with a smile and just so much attention. So I just want to thank Industrial Bank for being one of our biggest sponsors tonight. And I would like to call up Lakeisha Walker. Yes.
On the spot over here. I came just for support, like I said. So I just want to say thank you very much, Karen, because she is a jewel. I really appreciate her. Yes, I'm from Industrial Bank, a Black-owned bank. We have been around now over 87 years, and in the Washington D.C. area. I'm in Forestville. I've been in the Forestville branch now for going on 3 years, but I have known Karen ever since then, running behind her and a couple of counseling people, doing financial literacy at the different places. So I want to say thank you, and I support you, and I support everything that Visions and Purpose does, because I see as a woman, we need women. So I thank you for that, and I appreciate from the heart. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. One of the new features of the magazine that started this year is the Community Hero. And this month, our Community Hero is Evelyn Betancourt. And we would like her to come forth at this time and be that hero in this moment, please.
Yes,
Please give her a round of applause. Yes.
Aw.
And I believe this is the second issue that features our community hero. Is that right, Karen?
Yes. This is our second, issue. As we said, we started in January as we call it our new beginnings when we released our February issue, and we wanted to bring new things. And you even actually renamed one of the performing arts to arts and media. Yes. And now this is our first hero was from out of state, because we are everywhere. Community is everywhere. So now, to celebrate our 2nd year anniversary, we chose someone from Prince George's County, and also Evelyn is a dear friend of mine. We do so much our community outreach work, and she was nominated, and they made a strong fight for her to be our hero. So Evelyn, congratulations, you are VMP Community Hero. We need to have the magazine. So, can somebody bring us a magazine so we can start showing these things? So, Evelyn?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending. Thank you, family. Thank you, friends. Thank you, community. And this is what it's all about, giving back to the community. And every day that the sun shines or the sun doesn't shine or it's raining, I'm dedicated to Prince George's County and our community and the well-being of making it more successful any way that I can. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. I really feel very humbled to receive this because I just do what I do from the heart, and it's nothing more than what God would want you to do. Share your kindness, share your blessings, share whatever you can with other people. And I really appreciate it. Karen, you have been awesome. Karen kicks me sometimes when I'm not moving fast enough, and she's saying, "Hey, Evelyn, what are we going to do about this, and this?" Yes. She is a strong motivator in the community. Anything that myself, and I work for Bannister Ford, so I have to put that in because they also were generous enough to put an ad in explaining about the fact that they were congratulating me. But also, I wouldn't be able to do it without my friends, my support team that's here with me, Karen. Yes. Thank you ever so much. Yes. And there's one last person, and we all know without a strong woman, there has to be a strong man behind her. And I'd like for my husband, Sonny, to stand up. Thank you, honey, for everything. Thank you. Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Yes, it is. Yes. And as we say, we wanted you to be here as we recognize our sponsor. And actually, we have a new sponsor, first-time sponsor in our magazine, and that is Bannister Ford. And we just want everyone to know, please, just know Bannister Ford is now Black-owned. This used to be, for those here in Prince George's County, this used to be Sheehy Ford dealership off of Branch Avenue. It is now Bannister Ford, and is Black-owned. And he's from Hampton, Virginia area, and Chesapeake area. He has 2 in Virginia, and now he has 1 here in Prince George's County. So we are proud to have Dan Bannister here in Prince George's County.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wait a minute, your crew, they taking pictures. We always got time to cheese for a camera. All right, so 1, 2, 3, cheese.
Thank
All
you.
right, okay.
Awesome.
Make sure you get your copies.
I will. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Yes. A true hero, Karen.
Yes, it is.
Miss Evelyn Betancourt.
Yes,
our community
yes.
hero for this issue.
Yes, it is.
Now, you were mentioning that there's a lady among us. Is her name Lynette Hostin?
Yes, but we're going to recognize we got one more.
Do we?
Yes.
Okay. And
Bambi from
Concern for Kids.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And so Bambi Harmon is in the building right now. Can you please come forth and join us at the podium so that we can hear from you this evening? Please give her a round of applause. Bambi Harmon.
Yes.
Oh,
And as she's coming up, I appreciate you being here because I was on the phone with you when you broke that leg of yours, you broke your foot of yours, and she was just still like, guys, I'm telling you, no, this is definitely a Shiro right here. And she talking to me, oh, Karen, I just fell, and I know it hurts, but I said, you better go to the hospital. She's like, oh, yeah, I'll just wait on till my husband get here. But in the meantime, we're going to come out to your event, and we're going to sponsor an ad. And I'm like, put some ice on it. Oh, yeah, they told me to do that. And da-da-da-da-da. But in the meantime, I was like, I'm more concerned than she is, guys. And now I see her walking in here with a boot on. So I knew it was broke. I just knew it. So.
Well, guess what, guys? It's really not. They thought that it was fractured, but it's just really, really, the ligament is just pulled very, very bad. But I'm very grateful that she actually convinced me to put the ice on it. My husband kept telling me to put the ice on it, and I wouldn't do it. And he's like, well, I'm glad you finally listened to somebody, So, because I was determined I was not putting ice on it. So, thank you, Karen, for that.
Look, and that's what friends are for in the good times and bad times.
But I have
Let me keep my day job, right?
But I have to tell you guys that Karen has been a godsend to Concern. We are a therapeutic foster care agency located here in the county. We've been in the county for over 30 years, and I would like to say that we are the county's preferred treatment foster care agency. And Karen has just been just fantastic in connecting us with different resources here in the county. And as she's had people give and donate gifts on behalf of the kids for the holidays, that has just really, really opened the kids up just to believe in Santa, to believe in people actually giving and caring about them outside of those who physically actually care for them. And I also want to say that the young lady that you're bringing up next, we are so excited about that partnership. And really kind of what I've been sharing with people, that it's a jump start. It's a springboard for young people to start thinking about their future and planning for their future. So we got the whole gamut working with Karen here. I have something, I feel bad because I had a long day today, guys. So we have all of these cards on behalf of the youth that they want to give back and say thank you for all that you've done, guys. These are all cards written from kids 2 years old, all types of handwritten notes. We have some things that are actually colored from younger kids. So it's just a range. And this is from kids from literally age 2 up until the age of 20. So I just want to share these with you, Karen. And yeah. We want you to frame them how you choose to frame them. But know that we are grateful and we are thankful for the partnership, and we just look forward for just to future endeavors. So give us some love, right? Thank you. Oh, sorry, babe.
I just that's why I don't wear makeup. I cry too much. I'm a big crybaby. So I just want to say, take this moment. I know Chris is over there crying too, because we are part of our Community as Priority group. And it is a joy and an honor to do it every year. We recognize Foster Kids Month in the month of May. We used to take them bowling before the pandemic. In October, we always did something for Stop the Bullying Month. And they just are so beautiful. They come to me, they hug me, they grab me, and they just say, thanks for thinking of us. And so when we do our toy drive for them, if you're in need, we just don't want to give them one toy. What is one toy going to do? So we able to always give them at least 5 toys. Our biggest one was 10 toys a piece a year ago. And this was at the beginning of the pandemic. We was able to give the kids 10 toys a piece. And they are just so happy and just gracious. The family just thank us, and it's just a joy to do. So thank you, Bambi.
No, thank you.
And thank you all for being a sponsor. They sponsor ad this time around too this year. So I am just grateful for the relationships. It's about making these relationships, and that's why we are just being a positive voice for the community. I must continue to stress that we are the positive voice for the community, especially for the Black community. That we just want to tell them stories and then show them hidden gems that is just right here in our community. And because community is what, guys? It is everywhere. Look, it's catching on now. Yes. Thank you. And you better tell them I cried too.
Love you, baby.
Look, now I'm gonna cry and then get my. Okay. Thank you. Now,
Another round of applause for Bambi Harmon. Concern for kids, and turns out the kids are more concerned for us. How about that? So a round of applause for the kids, all right? Yes. And so now, after a great prelude,
Yes.
and we want to bring to the mic now Miss Lynette Hostin.
Yes.
Please come forward.
Yes,
Yes.
Lanita Houston. Yes. So I just like every time we do the release, I always like to just take one person I'm going to just snatch out of the crowd and just feature them. And I'm just asking the community to support. So this young lady here, she just wrote a book, The Pursuit of Black Excellence for Teens. I was like, wow, what a title. Let me just say this title again. The Pursuit of Black Excellence for Teens. And for her to be a young professional and understand that our teens need someone to pour into their spirit and let them know that they have excellence in them. They have greatness in them and jumpstart. So, and this is how relationships work. So she came on the show here. One our show platform believes that we have on Sunday every other Sunday at 6 p.m. Yes, that was a plug. And so and so she was here on Believe with Cortland, and Cortland asked me, Karen, can you help us get the word out about what she's doing with this book? And then I said, well, who is your target audience? And she said, you're going to help me with that, Karen. I said, okay, concern for kids. So I called Bambi, and I said, Bambi, we was all on a conference call, and I said, Bambi, I have a young lady here. I want her to come in front of you and present. And Bambi said, send me the information. In one weekend, Bambi said, no, this is great. This is bigger than us. So she then turned us on until, to Prince George's County Family Services. We had a big meeting, so we thinking we getting on the call to talk about her book, and now he said, okay, well, what kind of programs you got? And send me your programs. What can you do? We start back up in August, so next August, I want you to come in and start teaching your programs here with us. So now next Saturday, the 19th, guys, I need everyone to listen to her, where she going to tell you where the information is, buy one of her books, and guess where the book's going. It's donated to Bambi and her kids for the foster care system and social service out here in Prince George's County. And she's doing a workshop. So we doing a free workshop, and I just need everybody to just buy the books for the kids can have, and we are giving them to Bambi and for concern for kids. All right. So, yes. That's awesome. Lovely. This is your moment.
Thank you so much, Karen. And like she just told that story, that's the favor of God and the favor of relationship, because that's what community is. And so I'm excited. Next Saturday, we are hosting the Black Teen Summit for DMV teens ages 13 through 19. And are you familiar with the BET Teen Summit that aired back in the 90s?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, we're recreating that for teens
What
in this
you know
era.
about that? You was a little girl yourself.
And I didn't know anything about it. I don't know. I never been to it or anything.
Yes.
And when I went to go look it up on YouTube, it was so funny to watch, like the level of video quality back then.
I know they needed us, right? They really did need us.
They needed DP very badly, actually. But yes, we'll be hosting it at St. Stephen Baptist Church in Temple Hills, Maryland. We have a teen DJ, we have a guest poet, we have a hip hop artist. And we're just going to have some real dialogue about issues that I feel like we need to talk to our kids about more often. But we're putting the parents out the room. So this is just between just me and you. So I get to like peel back the layers about everything: identity, self-esteem, sex, side hustles, and then I open the floor for them to ask questions as well. But the goal is that our kids are very courageous and comfortable having real necessary conversations. And so I'm excited about that next Saturday, March 19th. If you're interested in coming on over.
And purchasing that book.
And purchasing the book.
Because we still need 25 books that we are donating to Concern for Kids. So how can they buy that book?
Yes, so Bambi's children are coming to this summit, and their participation is sponsored by way of book sales. And so you can purchase the book by going to The Pursuit for Teens, thepursuitforteens.com, and just purchase one copy, and that will cover the cost of one child to attend the summit.
And guess what we're going to do?
What?
Everyone that's here and then out there, because you too, our Facebook family, everyone who go and because you're going to give it again and purchase that book, guess what? In the next edition, we're going to have your name listed in our magazine, okay, as being one of the sponsors for our kids. How about that? So how much that book is?
It is $32.99.
$32.99, and it's a workbook.
It's a workbook.
Yes. Yep. And where can we get it one more time?
Thepursuitforteens.com.
Yes. And look, and we love it. And look, in case somebody like me don't know how to work it out and can't figure all these things out, is it another way? Can they email you, call you, and
yes, you can email if you like.
Okay, yes.
Email info@LanitaHosten, LINITAHOSTEN.com.
Okay, say that again.
info@LanitaHosten. That's my name.
Yes.
LINITAHOSTEN. You can also Google that, and it'll take you right to anything. I'm on every platform.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming out with us tonight.
Thank you so much for your support.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Continue success.
All right, Saf. Where are we, Saf?
Well, Karen, we're about ready to go a little deeper into the stories and the features of this edition of VNP Magazine.
Yes. It's time for us to do the stories, and because we still have our special guest honor here, and
yes, we do.
Yes.
The Honorable Carol Swartz.
The Honorable Carol Swartz. Can you believe that? It's in the building with us.
Yes, she is.
Yes, and just
we're
looking
pleased to have her.
Beautiful this evening as well. So, the first story that we have is going to be health and wellness. We have with Jason. Can you come to the mic, and then we'll have you to bring up your guest. Yeah, you walked back in the room just in time, didn't you? Yes,
Please welcome Chef Jason Green.
Yes.
Hi, everybody.
Yes. So, Jason, what's up? You doing that health and wellness thing. I just have to say, being 2 years with you has been a joy. Just writing all the health and nutritionist tip in our magazine, I am just grateful to have you. So, yes, and Ashley, he always give us helpful tips, and he just write his article. But this is the first interview article that you want to feature, because now he have relationships. It's all about relationships tonight. He have a beautiful relationship with two co-owners, and they just opened up a nice health and wellness center here in Prince George's County. So Jason, he came, Karen, I'm doing this interview. I'm doing an interview. This sounds like, oh yeah. So we all support that, Jason. So thank you.
No problem.
So yes.
Okay, so I'm Chef Jason Green, the resident chef of VNP.
Yes.
A little quick backstory to tell y'all. What could I say? These two individuals opened up what you consider a nutritional Starbucks for the Black community, and they if you I don't want to give too much of the article, but I just want to say
don't, because we want them to buy the article and read the story.
Well, so a quick little backstory I could tell y'all. The two individuals, they knew each other back in the day in college, but they kind of met back up at a critical point in all three of our lives. A very close friend of ours passed away due to complications of diabetes. I still get kind of choked up thinking about it. And he was a very good friend of me and the gentleman that owns the restaurant, and he was actually a family member of the female that runs the establishment. And they kind of linked up at the funeral, and
the beautiful blessing of their business was born.
The conversation started, and they just moved forward. But right now,
yes,
they have a business called Elevation Nutrition.
Yes.
And like I said before, it's a nutritional Starbucks for the community. It does a lot of things. They have a lot of wonderful things in the store. But right now, I want to bring them two up.
Yes.
And so y'all can meet them. Mr. Keith Dockett and Ms. Sharice Johnson, come up, please. Right. This is Elevation Nutrition, y'all. Okay. Once again, this is Sharice Johnson and Keith Dockett. The article is about them too, Elevation Nutrition. And the one question I have, but y'all first, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
And the one question I have for y'all is, how did you two get started with that? Just real quickly.
I'll go. So like we talked about, we linked back up at the funeral. Eric was a brother-in-law of mine and a good friend of Keith's, and so Keith was like, "Oh, you look good," And I looked at him. I was like, "Wow, you lost a lot of weight." I didn't even recognize him, right? And so I was like, "I'm doing this on my own," and he was like, "Come have a shake and a tea," and I said, "No." And so I went and I had a shake and a tea, and from that day, I've had a shake and a tea ever since. He has been a fabulous coach and a great business partner, and we decided to bring to the community health and wellness and a love in just rebuilding Prince George's County. And so that's kind of how our business started.
Yeah, real quick.
Like Sharice said, we did meet in college and met back up at the funeral. The funny thing is, Eric, which is a friend of all of ours, a family member of Sharice's, we had seen each other at cookouts. And somehow she didn't remember me. She introduced herself to me and reached out and shook my hand. And I'm looking at her, are you serious? And so, yeah. So I had been on a health and fitness journey over the last 6 years. It'll be 7 years this summer. I lost 100 pounds. Thank you. And a family friend of ours brought her and some of her friends over and asked about, I was with another nutrition club in Hyattsville at the time, and invited her out for a shake. She came out, she kicked and screamed. She didn't like this, she didn't like that. She had a mint chocolate shake, fell in love.
Every day.
She's got on the products as well, and she's lost 40 pounds as well. So she decided to become a business partner, and I had a vision of opening up my own healthy cafe and decided to partner with her, and we birthed Elevation Nutrition Club. So we're in the third week of being open right now.
So please come out, check them out, go out. I'm a member myself. I write for the health and wellness section. They have a nice special drink there, the Kool-Aid drink. I love that drink. It's an energy drink. It's delicious. But it's in Lanham. The address is in the magazine. Check it out. And thank you guys.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
So, Seth, we're going to keep it moving. But, Jay, guess what? We're going to make your announcement. So, I'm all about announcement and supporting. So, on Friday, March the 25th, we need your support again because Jason is launching a cook show here. Mm-hmm. And so, everyone been tasting his wonderful food every time we release. So please, guys, we are definitely doing a fundraiser in support of our community outreach that we do. So on Friday the 25th, our goal is we need to sell 500 meals to do our fundraisers that we want to do for the next month in April. We want to then, because we started last year doing for Good Friday free fish fry, and we did 1,500 people. We fed 1,500 people, so we want to be able to feed 1,500 people again. So Friday, I'm saying this date again, Friday, March the 25th, and we starting from what
Today?
we say? No, we starting. No, the time they can pick up their
Oh,
meal.
to pick up their meals between 5 and 8 p.m.
Yeah, so
it's
we
going
are-
to be pre-sales.
Yes,
It's gonna be
pre-sales.
pre-sales.
So
Mhm.
please
Pre-orders.
cash mob us, and we want to make sure that Jason have a great start. And also, Jason want to start a culinary arts, and we're gonna art school, and we're gonna have it here, and we're gonna do this, Jason.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yes,
All
it's going to
right.
be.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Jason.
problem.
Yes.
Great article.
Yeah, yes.
Elevation Nutrition. Great
Yes.
story. Great article. Please, y'all read that.
So moving right
Very
along.
motivational.
What
Thank you.
what we moving along to now, Sav? Because I'm
We-
excited because we got two more, and then it's Carol Sports. Me and Carol.
Well, I think right now we're going to talk about political awareness.
Oh, we are.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because Crystal gonna come up for political.
Crystal's coming up to
Yes,
talk
yes,
about political
yes.
awareness.
Political awareness. Because Crystal and I, we just love being out in the community, and this column was created because of Crystal and I involvement with the politician. We love being involved with the local politicians here and all that great things. And actually, Crystal is working with the candidate that we have featured. So we're gonna have you talk just briefly about that, and then you also then gonna be here for Author Speaks.
Yes. So the political awareness article this week features someone who's running for state delegate here in Maryland District 23, and her name is Remy Duyele, and she kind of talks about her story of how she has like 3 strikes against, or really 4, because she's a woman. She's originally from Nigeria. She didn't speak very good English, but she came into this country, and she entered as a teller into the bank, and she rose to VP in the span of 7 years. So she is just a true testament as to how you can be passionate about your community, grow up through the ranks, and she's really a grassroots person, and that's why I support her. And she, you can see her spread, and her thing is she wants people to believe, inspire, and impact. She really wants to leave an impact in the world and let people know that they can make a difference at any level. So she is running a great grassroots campaign, and I'm excited to be able to, I didn't write the article, but I designed it. So,
But I wrote the article, and she designed the article, and we just teamwork together.
yes.
And
But I took
also-
most of the pictures.
Yes, and she took most of the pictures, and also Krista just designed the magazine. She designed the whole magazine, and we have a new team member out of Cincinnati that helps with the magazine now. So we so excited. Thank you, Michelle and Crystal. And Crystal, we're going to let you stay right here because you did write Author Speaks.
And I don't always write. So this one I felt pulled to write because it's actually, I highlighted a 15-year-old young lady out of Charlotte, North Carolina. She's actually my cousin. But she's doing great work in Charlotte. They call her the Youth Messenger, and she has written her second book that is out. So she wrote her first book at the age of 8 in the hospital as she was recovering once she found out she had sickle cell. So the story kind of highlights how she wrote, like how she overcame her health struggle and how she herself is living in her purpose and doing work at the age of 15. And it talks about her hopes and aspirations for the future. She wants to be, and ironically enough, I did the interview. She said at the end one of her goals is to be on the Supreme Court. And then right after that, we get the nomination. So it gave, it's one of those things. It's like, as a young girl, you don't see anything or see anyone who looks like you who could even have the opportunity. And now she has that opportunity. So I'm very excited for her just to see someone and to be that youth messenger. So it's a very good article. I check it out and Google her because she's doing a lot of great things.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you so much. Yes. And I tell you, Sav, and that's one of the things Crystal and I, we talk about in the team. We talk about it all the time. How can we just stay in the community? And we want to feature more teen stories and more children's stories. So stay tuned. We'll have more children's stories coming out. So our next person we come and call into the mic is Marjorie Milliton.
Marjorie, watch your step. All right.
And Marjorie, if you don't mind, I'm going to bring a team member, Belinda, as well. So we're going to bring it. Yes, because you see, we trying to hurry up and get to Carol Swartz. I'm getting excited. It's Carol Swartz time. So yes. So yeah. Our community outreach, and yes, and Belinda, does such a great job with our community outreach, and Belinda came to us because she is actually on our show, and yes, as co-host, and I'm gonna say Marjorie, because Marjorie like don't have me to say it. So we host a show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Bad as Us, and we spelling bad with 2 A's because we are beautiful, accomplished, and divine. And brothers are accomplished and determined. Yet, as society see us, we must still change the narrative. So yes. So Belinda, can you tell us about your article?
I did an article for Women's History Month. It was highlighting 3 Black women that are my heroes, and I wanted to highlight 3 Black women that you don't normally hear about. So I wanted to highlight those women, and maybe it's on page 41.
Yeah, I'm getting to it.
And
page
maybe
41.
And maybe you'll look it up. I'm sure everybody has heard of I'm drawing a blank.
Okay.
1 second.
Yes.
Yeah, so of course Shirley Chisholm. That's my number one shero. But I also wanted to highlight Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She's the 24th president of Liberia, first woman president of Liberia, and also Mary Church Terrell. She's often unrecognized, but she came from a decent family, and she could have done anything in the rankings, but she chose to reach back and help within her community. So I wanted to highlight those 3 women who have made an impact in my life.
And thank you. And we compliment each other so well. I give her the subject line to write about, and she just run away with it. And she was like, Karen, I don't write. And
that was my fear. That was one of my fears. 47 years, it was a fear, and I said I was going to conquer it, and she helped me do that.
Yes, and she writes so well. Guys, you got to really check her article out. Thank you so much, dear. And so now, Marjorie, yes, but I can go. Yeah. So Marjorie, inspirational moment.
Okay.
Yes. So we always start the magazine with our inspirational moment. So because everybody that know me, that I just always know that it's always something bigger than us, and I always have to reference to that and just say I am just always blessed to have that. So to show the blessing. We always like to start our magazine with the inspirational moment.
Right, that's right. And so during these times, it's important for us to remember that we have to shine. Yes. And in order to shine, we have to stay woke. So one of the people that I wrote about in my article was Erin Jackson, who's the person who was the first African-American woman to win a gold medal in the Olympics.
Yes.
That's shining.
Yes.
So that's what that article was about.
Yes. And we did one together. So at this point, we're going to bring up Langston Hughes. Yes. Langston. So Langston, after this, we get into Carol Swartz. And what a way to bring it up, because Langston is going to talk about his article and give us a performance as we go to commercial break. And then we'll be bringing up the Honorable Carol Swartz. So Langston, I just want to say congratulations. Okay, do you know what page number he on? I do. Don't worry about it, because bam, here it is. Look at that, Langston. Yes. Yes, and that's your whole crew. And guys, I saved him for last because, as we said, we want to start just showing our youth, our young professionals. He's a Howard Jr. at Howard, and he had residency at the Strathmore. Okay, at the Strathmore. So Langston, how did it feel to have residence at the Strathmore? That is big. That is huge. Come on, you're getting a like to the audience and everything. I remember that part of your interviews.
Well, Seth asked me earlier, and I told him it was really like a dream come true. I knew about the program for a couple years now, but it always felt like such a distant goal that was so far, for me to reach that I never really applied. So right before the application opened, a couple of the older residents, they hit me up and they were like, hey, you should really do it. Just, try for it. Because the program is from, I think, age 20 to like 32. Yes. But to this day, I was the youngest to ever get it. Yes. So for me, appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was almost, thank you. So like I said, it was like a distant dream. So, you know, when I got it, I was just, you know, the word that always comes to mind is just grateful. Yeah, and it's just, and, you know, Karen, you know, and I thank everyone here for just supporting, you know, a dream. I've known Karen for, since I was in high school, and she always calls me and she was like, oh, it's Auntie Karen. And it's always good to talk to her because, you know, folks like her and everyone else here, they support a dream. And I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yes. And thank you. And so, guys, he's going to grace us with his piece. Do you need to get
you know,
ready?
I probably need 2 seconds because.
Okay, yeah. So we'll talk about you while you're getting ready. So, yes, we're going to finish talking about him while he's getting ready, Marjorie. No, you. Yes, because you was there. Yeah. And Sav, and you wrote about him a little blog piece before, and now we did a whole feature story of him. And so this is just great to have.
Of course, we're all fans of Langston.
Yes.
As some of you who hear earlier, you heard why.
Yes.
He's very blessed.
Yes.
And he's in his element. Music is his gift. And as you can see, he's a genuine, humble young man. And he comes into our presence with a lot of grace. And so, you know, as I said, I'm a fan of his. And anytime I get a chance to give praise to what he's doing, it's an honor to do that. And by the way, the article, Marjorie and Karen, you wrote a tremendous article on Langston.
Yes.
So
thank you.
It's very beautiful. The words are
an original piece, right?
Pardon me?
No, I was. He was doing like this.
Oh,
Langston.
okay.
I'm sorry. So yes, guys, you doing an original piece? So you're going to do something that the crowd. Okay, and that's what I figured. And I just want to say this before he do this. When we was there, he did one of his original pieces, and the one that touches my heart, and I have to just talk about that just while we letting him come up, The Leap. And he said while he was on stage, he created The Leap because when he went to Howard, he went there to study engineering. His first day, he called his mom and said, Mom, what would you do or say if I tell you that I'm going to study music? And his mother was like, do it. We know this is your journey. So now here he is, resident in the Strathmore, just being asked to perform all over. So yes, you are greatly in your blessings. You are in your purpose. And yes, the journey, the leap, we thank you for taking the leap. Yes. So no other than Langston. Honorable Carol Swartz. Yay! Yes, yes. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Thank you.
My name is Emmerich Peace. I am a husband, a father, an entrepreneur, a businessman, a real estate sales consultant, a lover of life, and a giver of the community. What family means to me, it means togetherness, love, happiness, support, inspiration, providing, ensuring, securing, loving. Family is what I live for. The things that I do in my day-to-day life is to support my family first. And then I go and live my family because I work my hardest, I do my best, just not to bring work home. When I'm home, I'm home. And when I'm working, I'm working. And now since I don't have any kids at home, I'm koi ponding and I'm really having lots of fun because it's just my place of just happiness, my happy place, being home, no kids at home, just being able to enjoy my home with my wife. The first time I experienced entrepreneurship was when I was a paper boy. I was about 10, 11 years old. And I knew that I had to get the papers out. I knew I had to make my collections because the only way that I would make my bond, which is your salary savings account, was if you collected all of your money. That's when I understood entrepreneurship. Well, I believe that laid the groundwork because I had to keep my customers on my route happy. I think how the paper boy and the paper route comes full circle is because in business, you're only as good as your service to your clients. And so whether it was a paper boy or whether it was cutting lawns, selling houses, at the end of the day, it's about the satisfaction of your customer and your client. When you're in business and you're working in a team environment and there's a group, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And so the team has to be immersed in the same thought process and the same thought concept because they have to service their customers and clients the same way because we only have one name. We're called the Paragon Group. The truth is, in selling real estate, our income is derived from the community. We sell houses to people in the community. And since we sell houses to the people in the community, that means we have to give back to the community. And it's up to me, it's my obligation to give back to the community because I clearly understood and I understand now I didn't have the same opportunities back growing up in West Baltimore as I have now in Prince George's County in Upper Marlboro. And 95% of my community involvement is around children, whether it's donating dictionaries, whether it's refurbishing a library, whether it's a career day, whether it's mentoring at the 100 Black Men of Prince George's County, it all revolves around the youth. Partnership is really about, it's about the merging of different relationships. When you have partnerships, you can't count. You can't count money, you can't count time, because in a real partnership, in the best partnerships, everyone has their gift zone and everyone brings their special gifts to the table. And you have to respect everyone's gift because there's a reason why they're on the team. And I look at a partnership as kind of like marriage. My wife and I, we've been married 35 years, and I look at partnerships the same way. Once you start counting time, once you start counting money, the partnership begins to degrade in some way or another. We never have financial issues. We never have business issues. We only have relationship issues. Relationships will take you places money can't.
Of tonight's premiere, VMP Community Magazine's anniversary edition.
Yes, yes.
And it's the month of March and April 2022. Our cover stories and the women in those stories are seated right beside me here. Carol Swartz and Karen McConnell Jones. Ladies, it's quite a pleasure to be with you. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, yes.
Well, I'm thrilled.
Yes, I am too. You know, we just had a ball just doing in preparation of the interview and having you here tonight. So we just going to jump right on into it. Carol, I tell you, you are such a breath of fresh air. You cannot talk about political figures in Washington, D.C., and your name is not mentioned. And we just love what you do. Mention community. You are a big force in the community of Washington, D.C. Even the bank here, when Industrial Bank, I have to share that story. When they were sponsoring, they was like, "Oh my gosh, you got Carol Swartz. My mom used to work on her campaign. Oh my God, I'm gonna tell my mom you got Carol Swartz, the Honorable Carol Swartz, on your front cover." So that's just what is said. Danny, I know Danny Gibson, when she was here, she's like, "Oh, Carol, I'm coming out. Carol Swartz gonna be there. I'm coming out." So you have so many Washington, D.C. supporters here tonight to be here to support this endeavor. So that's the first question, that I asked you, Carol, in the magazine is, I always start out my first question like, who are you and what do you want our readers to know? And you was just so candid and so vulnerable and honest with us. So I'm gonna let that piece be my first opening again. Carol, who are you and what do you want our viewers and our audience to know tonight?
Well, Karen, thank you so much. And I was so thrilled when you called and asked me to do this about a month or so ago. And I just know you're a D.C. gal, even though we lost you to Prince George's County. And you always I'll tell you, do you know anybody in the world, folks, more that make you feel better than Karen? Anybody in the world?
Thank you.
I mean, I used to think I had a personality until I met her. I mean, it's like
oh wow, thank you.
I feel like a shy, retiring person. But you are a force. You're a force of nature, and the fact that you grew up in Anacostia in D.C. And
yes.
And I first got to know you, and you were a young woman. I guess I really spent my life in public service, and I did it first as a special education teacher. I was drawn to that because my only sibling was an individual, a brother who was 18 months older, who was an individual who was mentally challenged. And I started, even though I was a little sister, 18 months younger, I started taking care of him when I was about 5 years old. My parents worked in a mama-papa sort of way, and so it was up to me to kind of watch out for my brother. So at 5 years old, I had a lot of responsibility. And but I loved caretaking for my brother, and he defined me in every way because he was such a wonderful person. And he also defined me because I would watch how people would treat him. When we'd go out and about, when we were like 8 or 9 and we'd go to the movies and people would make fun of him, instead of being nice to him because he had difficulties and people were mean. So all this social media meanness isn't just now, it's always been there. At least before, a lot of them were buried underground and now they're out. But so I became at a very young age a caretaker and also a person who was totally intolerant of intolerance. I suffered some myself, being Jewish in a small town in Texas, and where people couldn't date me or I couldn't go to the slumber party. And why? Because I was Jewish. And so I saw intolerance, and I saw bigotry and racism, and I also watched my brother, as I say, be belittled instead of boosted. And so I became a special education teacher, and then that led to doing volunteerism, because I was also fairly depressed as a child, because not only did I have a brother to take care of, I had to work in that mama-papa store starting at age 8. And in addition, I had a father who was pretty brutal. And so a combination of those things were making me, who's usually been a positive, upbeat kind of person, awfully depressed. And so I started doing volunteer work at the March of Dimes. And I would go where there would be young people, most of them my age, and they couldn't walk. And even though I had a lot to feel sorry for about my own self, when I saw them, I started thinking, but I can walk. At least I can walk. And I say this now because it's been a very big motivation for me. And I say it to other people that are feeling sorry for themselves. Oh, woe with me, woe with me. Go out and help your fellow human being who's in worse shape than you are. Just go do it. And you'll feel a heck of a lot better about your own life. And you'll also make their lives better. It's like a threesome. You know, what do they call it? Not a threesome, but a three.
But you know,
Boy,
there's three of us, you know, so we having a threesome right now.
Yeah. But you know what? How we kind of feel about. Woo!
At 78,
At
still got it.
Yes. This became X-rated immediately. But it's like, what is it like when you feel good about one or two or three things?
Yes.
It can make you feel good for three reasons.
We got you. We keep it
And
up
that
with you.
is,
Maybe a trifecta.
you'll find, yes,
Yes, trifecta.
is that
Thank
you
you,
will,
Sal.
one, help somebody else, and they'll feel better about their lives, and you'll feel so much better about what your own life, and then their response to you will make you feel better yet. So I think for all those reasons, I always tell people that are just, woe with me, oh, stop it. Just go out and do something for your fellow human being. That's how I ended up a special education teacher. That's how I ended up in political life. And I entered a non-paying position on the Board of Education in 1974 when my children were 5, 4, and 2. I really wanted to get out of the house too, by the way. And I stayed, on the Board of Education. Then a few years later, I was a vice president of the Board of Education. I ran for the council and then ran for mayor. Had you been around as my campaign manager, I might have even been mayor. Lord, where were you, Karen, when I needed you? But I came darn close for a person who certainly, had a lot of, I was white, Jewish, and in those days a Republican. And I stayed a Republican because it was helpful to the city, because we had Congress always breathing down our backs. And I stayed one because I was able to back them off sometimes, not often, but enough. And so it was good for the city to have a Republican doing that. It was certainly not helpful to my own career, where there were 11 Democrats for every one Republican. By the way, P.S., I went off the council 13 years ago. 9.5 years ago, I became an independent. Yes. And I didn't need it anymore for those reasons I just expressed. So I became what I probably always was, which is an independent. And I've certainly spent a lot of time lately voting for Democrats and sending money to Democrats.
Yes, yeah. And, that was one of the rumors in D.C., because I grew up in D.C., like you said. Everybody always used to say, yeah, Carol Swartz may be a Republican, but she had a Democrat at heart, and that was so true. You just was always supporting the community so well, and thank you for that. Sav, and Sav, we doing a duo here, so we're going to go back and forth. Sav, if you have a question for the Honorable Carol Swartz, and I know Sav did the writing as well. I wrote for Carol Swartz, and Sav did the writing for the front cover that I am featured in for my 10-year anniversary. So we're just going to feed off each other and just have a nice conversation. How about that, Sav?
Absolutely. It's been such a great relationship between Washington, D.C. and Prince George's County. And, what is it like for you seeing, the growth of Prince George's County as things grew over the years, and as you saw somebody like Karen leaving D.C. and coming and, finding her way and really blossoming in Prince George's. And so what was it like for you seeing that growth in general and happen over the course of your career?
Yeah. Well, listen, I as Prince George's County was growing and was growing with DC residents, I was sad. We were losing so much of the population that I loved and cared about. And I was sad for a lot of the reasons they were leaving. And, that was, the price of housing. Unfortunately, in many cases, better education. That's why I work so hard to try to better government, better education. But I saw a lot of movement there. And, of course, we've always called Prince George's County Ward 9. D.C. has 8 wards. And we've always referred to Prince George's County as Ward 9. I've gotten to know a lot of the political people here in Prince George's County. I was very active with the Metropolitan Area Council of Governments. Okay. And so I became very friendly with so many of your elected people over the years who became very dear friends, actually. Yes, but I was hated to see Karen go, I'll tell you for sure. And I think I'm going to go to you. And I'm going to go, I can ask a question too.
Oh, please do. Please do.
Yes.
I want to know what not only made you the caring, loving personality that you are.
Okay.
And the total promoter of everyone, especially women.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And what in your background enabled this magnificent woman to emerge?
Wow, she asked deep questions as well, right? I'm going to say Evelyn McConnell, my mother. She just always instilled in us, in order to receive a blessing, you must first be a blessing. And when you be given of yourself, and if you got any skill set or just a heart for the community, that's what you do. And so everything that I am, everything that I strive to be is because of Evelyn McConnell. I just had the best mom in the whole wide world, and I just who I am, the person I am today, I just have to give the credit to my mother. And with that, though, it was, outside of that, seeing great leaders. And I always have to tell our story. So Carol Schwartz came in Southeast Washington. That's where I lived. When she said in Anacostia, we called it the East of the River. And she came with Marion Barry, and we're going to get in that conversation. They was truly good friends. And she came with Marion Barry in the community, and I probably was not even 10, maybe 8 or something like that. And I just remember she just hugging us and just saying, oh, look at you. You're going to be great. You're going to be, grow up to be whatever you want to be. And I remember running in the house. I was like, Mom, it's a white lady in our neighborhood. Let's be real. This is Southeast Washington. So, I was like, Ma, it's a white lady in our neighborhood, and she hugging us and kissing us and telling us we're going to be great. And I said, she's saying the same thing you're saying. We can be great. We can be anything we want to be. So that made an everlasting impression on me. So that's where it starts, Carol. That's where it starts. And every time we share this story, I always cry, That's why I wear makeup.
It makes me cry too.
Yes, and so and then
and I have makeup on.
Yes, I know. And then to come full circle and honor you in 2012 when we was doing the community awards, we honored the women, and she's like, Karen, of course I'll come back and do the award ceremony with you. And then now to ask her to be on the front cover of the magazine has been an honor. And just even with interviewer, I wasn't the only one. She said she was just on a Zoom meeting, and I want you to tell that story. She was on a Zoom meeting, and she said, and just one young lady came on. She's like, Carol Schwartz. Oh my gosh, I'm on a conference with Carol Schwartz. I'm on a Zoom with Carol Schwartz. So that's how everybody feel about you. You are contagious. Well, your personality is just contagious.
Well, I'm surprised. I've been gone for 13 and a half years from political life. And I'd like to talk a second about why I'm gone for political life, because it was my hardest moment, because I was goodbye. But it was my proudest moment. I fought in 2008 to give sick leave to employees in the private sector. You know, of course, government always did have sick leave, but I would, walk into a CVS store or Walgreens or whatever, and you saw all these women, usually women, standing behind the cash register and standing, not sitting, and they didn't have any sick leave, because I learned that even the major businesses didn't give vacation leave or sick leave, because they would hire these individuals as part-time workers. I'm talking about multi-zillionaire companies. And it made me sick at my stomach. And I thought, look at these people that get up every morning, come into work. If they've got a cold or the flu, they've got to come in sick. And how is that in any of our best interest? For them to be at the cash register and having to work when they're sick. But how inhumane that they have to come in or lose the day's pay. And it really got to my soul. And all of my colleagues on the council, and I only want to say this because, you watch people and they say, oh, I'm with you, boy, they sign on to legislation, they put their names down, and then they actually send it to a committee where they think it'll get buried alive, the legislation. And they could say, oh, I really meant well when I signed on, but I just couldn't get that chair of that committee to move it forward. So they sent it to my committee thinking I'd probably kill it off. Well, boy, did I show them.
You killed it off, all right.
Oh, yes, I brought it forward. I brought it forward. And they had to vote for it, and I knew they'd have to vote for it because they'd signed on to it. But I had the people in the business community, and I'm not talking about the small business people, because I know that the original bill had everybody got 10 days of sick leave, regardless of what kind of business, size of the business. And I knew a mama papa shop, but I couldn't afford that. And, many of them are living on the edge anyway, and that might just put them over the edge. So what I did is made sure that it was based on the size, and everybody had to give a little, like 3 days a year, and then a middle size was 5 days, and then the larger were 7 days. It went 3, 5, 7 days. So I did compromise the bill, but we ended up as the first state jurisdiction in the entire country that had sick leave for all our workers. And so it didn't matter if you lived in Prince George's County or Montgomery County or wherever you lived, you got sick leave when you worked in the District of Columbia, and you had to do it. And I am the proudest of that bill. But they told me when I was moving it along, they said, you bring that out, we're going to come after you, and we're going to come after you, and we're going to get rid of you. And I just forged ahead. Knowing that, it was the right thing to do, and I would take whatever came. And of course, what came was my retirement, because I lost. I had a little fun doing it, even though I was hysterically sad about it. But I lost. They came after me in the primary, because they knew when everybody could vote for me, when all the independents and the Democrats could vote for me, that they couldn't beat me, because I got 94,000 votes my last election. And so they knew to come out, in the primary, there were only a few thousand Republicans in all of D.C. So they got some young guy to run against me and said that I was too liberal and I'm too old. It's time to, just bury me alive. And so I lost. But then I ran a write-in. I was so mad. I ran a write-in, and I spent a lot of my own money running that write-in. But I got 50,000 people in the District of Columbia to write in my name. Now, unfortunately, because my name wasn't on the ballot, and Michael Brown was number 1 on the ballot, and he was a Democrat turned independent, he won. And because he got about 70,000 votes. I got 50,000 write-ins. But of course, he went on to get charged with bribery, and he spent many years in prison. So I don't think they ended up so well.
Business in the street. So what happened to him? He ended up getting charged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
in
So.
their own way, they kind of buried themselves. They may have buried me alive. They also buried themselves alive.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I love it. Sav.
What a great story.
Yes. Yes.
And you made history.
Yeah. Oh, I do want to say a P.S. to that. I'm real so proud about this. Is that about 40 states now have adopted that very bill. I mean, we were the first. Adopted that exact legislation, which I actually authored because the other thing was, I said, too extreme. And Barack Obama, when he was president, required my bill, my exact bill, word for word, for all the private industry businesses that contract with the federal government.
Wow.
They have to pay their workers sick leave. So it's a proud moment. You see, I'm still bragging about it.
Yes. And that's the part that touched my heart, because you said at the time, I think it was only like 13 states has adopted, and now Obama used it, and it's over 40 something now.
States. And before, we were the first, though, even though we're not a state. That's another issue.
Yeah. Yes.
We don't even have a vote in the United States Congress, even though we pay federal income tax.
Yeah.
And it's such an abomination.
Yes.
An abomination. You know, our whole country was on the whole subject of no taxation without representation. And yet we are about 700 and some odd thousand people paying federal income tax and don't have a vote, not one vote in the United States Congress. We've got Eleanor Holmes Norton, who does a magnificent job with no vote, but yet it's sinful. And I've gone up and lobbied, and they say, well, if we give it to you, then we'll have to give it to all the territories. And I said, excuse me, the territories don't pay federal income tax. Like Puerto Rico, American Samoa, they don't pay federal income tax. And they also weren't eligible, they weren't required to enroll in the draft, and yet the District of Columbia residents were required to be drafted. So they have had benefits.
Yes.
No federal income tax, no draft when there was a draft. So we've been treated very badly, badly. And it's unfortunately when we were more white, it happened. Then we were more black, it continued on. And now we're kind of equal black and white, and the atrocity continues.
Yes. Sav, I'll tell you, now you see why I was honored to share my 10-year being in media with Carol Schwartz, and to have her to be on the cover of the magazine opposite of me. So this was, you getting a treat. You all getting a treat. This has been such an honor. And Sav, and thank you for just always hearing me and just working with me when I come up with ideas. And actually, if I can just share this though, I'm always the one just running to the team. Oh guys, what y'all think about this front cover? What y'all think about that? So I got to tell a funny story. So now Saf and I, we always like just going out. We love bread. So we was out eating our favorite bread and having conversation over bread, breaking bread. Get it. So so and we was
what kind of bread is it?
Oh, just wonderful bread.
Okay.
We ain't gonna tell all our secrets now.
Okay.
You're gonna have to buy the magazine to get the secrets. So we was just out having dinner, and so then Saf, I was telling him about my ideas, and this was last year. So we always project ahead. So I said, Saf, I want to do this for Women History Month. I want to do that for then. I want da. So then Saf was like, yeah, well, after I write my January issue, for the March issue, I want to write this story. And he said, because it's this lady opened up a media company in Largo, Maryland. I said, for real? Oh my gosh! I said, and so he said, yeah. it's a brand new media company. I was like, oh my God, Seth, yes, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. And he said, yeah, I am. I said, well, what is her name? I would love to meet her. He was like, I'm sitting here having dinner with her. I was like, totally went over my head, guys. Totally went over my head. So, Seth, thank you. So I'm gonna give it to you now.
Well, Karen, it was a privilege to break bread with you.
Yes.
And a privilege to write the story.
Yes.
Congratulations on 10 years.
Thank you.
In the media. And, so much has been said in this moment and with the other guests who have come up about their appreciation for what you do. And I think with this article also, they're going to see an additional element of your vision and your purpose. And they know where you've been for the last 10 plus years. And now the article speaks to where you are and where you're going. Mm-hmm. And those are good things.
Yes.
And I welcome everybody to take a close look at that article.
Yes.
It really, truly is history in the making. So
Thank
congratulations to you.
Thank you. Yes, and guys, I tell you, it was just a joy to do. And Seth, and we all just write stories. So when I saw that Seth was, as we call it, writing more of a casual style because it's a Q&A story of me, I was like, you know what? This give me a chance to switch it up. We never did a front cover that's kind of like just got personality casual. We always doing it more professional business style. So I said, I'm going to surprise them. And actually our photographer, when they was here, we took the pictures with Carol Schwartz first. So I had on the business attire. So then I said, well, I'm going to change to get ready for my photo shoot. Carol had left. And when I came out, she was like, what? You got on jeans? I've been knowing you for years and never seen you in a pair of jeans. So that let me know that we was pulling the right thing out of your story. So it was just a relaxed atmosphere, and it was a conversation more than an interview. And that's how I feel with Carol. It was a conversation more than an interview, because afterwards, the whole time while we doing her interview on Zoom, guys, I was like, oh, I got to ask her, can we just, show this as a documentary? People would love to see it, because it was an hour and a half of good stuff. So stay tuned. We may be doing that. So we're going to be talking about that.
Lots of Marion Barry stuff.
Yeah.
Lots
and
of
I'm
Marion
going to say,
Barry.
well, with that said, I got to, because I know we got to get ready to wrap up the evening, but I got to let them let you hear the story about her and Marion Barry. And what you shared with me, and which I didn't know until the interview, that you all actually knew each other before you came to Washington, D.C. And they both came here around the same time. They both had great political careers. So that was just amazing. And then you ran against him twice.
And he beat me both times.
But
I came close.
Yes, very much. 41% won the races, but you
42.
Okay, all right. She won that extra percent. Okay, well then I need to make sure in that magazine, or we may have to do a retract. So yes, but I like the fact that you was firm and strong in your reason why you wanted to run against him, but yet you remained his friend to the point of I will let you tell the story. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, because I did run against Marion twice, and we knew, most of us in the end knew he had some issues, personal issues, and addictions that we knew would probably end up blowing him up, and probably us along with him. And so I tried to get other people to run against him, Democrats, African American people. Nobody would do it. No one would do it. And finally I just jumped in at the last minute and did it. I didn't know him before, but I met him soon after I arrived in 1966 and he arrived in 1965. And I was working at the Black Man's Development Center, counseling drug addicts as a volunteer, and he had his good poverty program working with people in the community. So we got to know each other and be friends long before either one of us was in political life. And we both went from the school board to the council, and then of course he went to mayor. I never got to go there, but not from lack of trying. But most people would think, having run against him for 2 times, and we had tough campaigns and tough debates, but we were very good friends. When my husband died, it was very tragically. In 1988, he came and sat at my house for days. And then when he went through other experiences himself, I was there holding his hand as well. And to the point where right after I went off the council those 13 years ago, I was down in Florida starting my wound licking period of being out of office. The phone rings and it's February and it's Marion saying, "What you doing?" And I said, "Not much. What you doing?" And he said, "Well, I'm in Howard University Hospital getting ready to go in for my kidney transplant operation." And I knew he needed one and he was going in, but I didn't know exactly when he was. Of course, if I'd turned off Judge Mathis and turned on the news, maybe I would have known. But I said, "Well, when is your surgery?" He said, "Any minute." And then I thought he was just kind of BSing me. And I said, "Any minute?" He said, "Yeah." And then a few minutes later, someone said, "Mayor Berry, it's time to go." And he said, "I got to go." And I said, "Well, Godspeed." And it turned out that I was his last phone call before he went into a life-threatening surgery. So like a month later, when he's home recovering, and his birthday was March 6th, just recently, and I called him on his birthday, and I said, what you doing? Which we always said to you, "What you doing?" And he says, "I'm just home." And I said, "Well, what you doing tonight for your birthday?" He said, "Nothing." He was home recovering from that surgery a month earlier. I said, "Well, how'd you like me to bring in dinner?" And he said, "Great." So I went in and we had his birthday together after his surgery. And I said to him, am I really the last person you called before you went into your surgery? And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Why me?" He said, "I was just thinking about you and I needed to talk to you." I can't even talk about it without crying. And needed to talk to you. So to the day he died, we were really close friends. And God rest his soul.
Oh, wow, wow. Well, guys, we stayed true to our time here. Oh, yes, you can clap, our studio audience. Yes. Yeah, so sad. It's time to wrap it up. It's just been great, huh?
It's been awesome. It's a great issue. If you want to know how to make history, check these 2 articles out on Carol Schwartz and Karen McConnell Jones. And really, the underlying theme of the stories are how you, in your professional and your personal life, walk by faith. And so if you want to make history, learn to walk by faith in your professional and your personal life, and you will make history. These ladies are a testament to that.
Oh, thank you. Yes. And as we thank you. And we got to give a round of applause. I'm gonna give a round of applause to our studio audience. Yes, they've been great tonight. And Langston Hughes, thank you for your performance. And I'm going to share on air. Happy birthday to you, because March the 6th is his birthday as well. He's saying the same birthday as Marion Bear. Yes. And we got you in the birthday shout out of the magazine. And with that being said, we got to say thank you to Tony and the Turners. For their article, they write in the
Tony and Martina.
Yes, they write in the All Things Fashion. And also Michelle, our new team member, this is her first article and that she wrote in Education is Key. She's a substitute teacher in Cincinnati, and she also have a birthday coming up this March the 21st. So happy birthday to you, Michelle. And then Crystal, because we're doing March in April, and Crystal has a birthday in April the 22nd. Our engineer in the back, back. Yay! Happy birthday to you.
Crystal.
But and to our studio audience and to you out there in Facebook world, thank you all for joining and tuning in with us tonight. We always try to stay on task, but I want to ask you so many more questions, but I know I promise you I'll let you go. So yeah, so maybe we can talk her into us doing this documentary piece together. Trust me, you will enjoy it. It was an hour and a half full of this great stuff, even heard telling about Dante Heights, how they had a very close and personal relationship. It's in the article. You have to buy the magazine. It was, guys, my head hurt trying to write this story, because how am I take all this information she gave me in an hour and a half and try to put it in 6 pages, 7 pages. I was like, oh, and I told her, I said, my head hurt was writing your story. You made my head hurt, because it was so much I wanted to tell. So hopefully we can do this documentary and you all can come back and just share with us. It's a nice Zoom. And she was like, Karen, but we was on Zoom. We wasn't made up. I said, that's the beauty of it all. So again,
I didn't have any jewelry on.
yes.
I felt naked.
yes. So again, thank you for hanging out with us and celebrating 2 years.
I loved every minute of it.
Well, thank you, and everyone else. You all have a good night and just be blessed in your endeavors. And as we always say, continue to see your vision and walk the purpose. Yeah, walk in your purpose. And Seth, last words to you.
Thank you.
And good night.